guys doing? You're here, you're living life, just doing it. I'm a horrible motivational speaker. I will motivate you that we have a great show tonight. We have Stacy Jurado-Miler with us. Yes. We also have the music of Justin Larkin. He's good. Real good. He's good. And we have a great title sponsor, Big Whiskeys. Check it out.
At Big Whiskeys, no matter what your story is, you're welcome here.
My grandpa told me that when he was a soldier in World War II, he got stuck behind enemy lines, and he had to take out an entire Nazi battalion using only his fists and his wits.
My grandpa told me that when he was in the Korean War, he single-handedly saved 12 men using only a pocket knife and his handkerchief.
Well, my grandpa told me he used to be a mall cop, and one day he single-handedly ate at every restaurant in the food court using only a spork in his mouth. Yeah. Who was that guy? Who was that guy? There's Dave Smith. Dave, how you doing tonight? You look like you've lost a little bit of weight. You look good. You look good.
Thank you very much. Simple thing. You know, I'm trying real hard, watching, you know, I'm kind of working out a little bit more, and carbs are the devil, so.
To recap, Dave just said, carbs are the devil, and then went into the blue shadows. All right, let's do things I've noticed.
These things I've noticed. These things I've noticed, yeah.
Yeah.
These things I've noticed. These things I've noticed, yeah.
Yeah.
These things I've noticed. These things I've noticed, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, these are things I've noticed. Here we go. I've noticed that Taco Bell is testing a Kit Kat-filled quesadilla. Give me a break. I've noticed that Facebook is the equivalent of me opening the fridge when I'm not hungry and just staring inside. It's true. It's true. I've noticed that if I finish all my food at a restaurant, I like to exclaim, "I'm my own to-go box." I've noticed that swallowing a coffee bean is just like taking a caffeine pill besides the burst of diarrhea. I've noticed that the more accurate name for the magazine would be The Worst People. It's in there, you just gotta turn your brain off. And finally, I've noticed that I recently got kicked out of a Build-A-Bear workshop in the mall for using them to try to convert my air mattress into a real one. Things I've noticed.
These things I've noticed. These things I've noticed, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We have a pretty cool thing coming up I'm very excited about. You guys are going to love it, and I want to make sure I get the name right. So here it is. Next up is Nate tries to plug something into an outlet that he cannot see. All right, that was Nate tries to plug something into an outlet he cannot see. All right. If you're looking for a point to that, don't be fooled that there might be one. One thing that's really great is we are friends with Michael Spires, who is from the area originally. Now he's mostly in Europe. He's one of, truly one of the world's best opera singers. And he comes into town every so often. So this time, we decided to see, do people just at local, towny bar, karaoke bars, do they appreciate opera? So we made a video. Check it out.
I'm Michael Spires, the internationally renowned opera singer. I'm here in Théâtre Champs-Élysées getting ready for a concert, but I thought I'd show you something a little local that we shot last week with Jeff. Take it away.
Hey, Michael, come on up here, Michael.
This guy's gonna sing a song a cappella style. It's Italian or some shit, right? All right, next up, Michael! Michael S., come on up, good job, raise your hand.
Tramuta in laci lo spasmo e il pianto in una smorfia e scignozza e dolor
Nicely done.
I've been here 9 years, and I swear to God, that's the first time that's ever happened.
I was just gonna sing that song, you know.
Yeah, how about that? It was good. For the record, that's what he was wearing that day before we saw him. All right, we'll be right back with Stacy, Jurado-Miler. Stay where you are.
That comedy bit brought to you by BRS CPAs and Advisors.
Jeff Houghton here in the Midwest. It has become clear that many in our media centers on the coast do not know the Midwest very well, with very few reporters assigned to the area. So I have taken it upon myself to send reports back from this foreign land. I'm here in Missouri, or as you may know it, Iowa or Ohio or East Dakota. The people in this region affectionately refer to the Midwest as America's torso when it's laying down, like it is now. The Midwest consists of 12 states, bordered on the northeast by the Great Lakes, the west by the Dakotas and Nebraska, to the north by the Canadian border, and to the south by Missouri's skin flap. There's actually a diversity of people here, and I'm told they've actually chosen to live here. The Midwest is not just farmland. In fact, there are many cities like Chicago, Detroit, St. Louis, Cornopolis, Kansas City, and only one of those is made up. America on the whole may disregard the Midwest, but residents here take solace in the fact that Thomas Jefferson chose it, and Jefferson was known for being committed to his relationships. The Midwest is the only thing separating Canada from the South and the inevitable get her done, I'm so sorry, war. This costs half as much as a studio apartment in San Francisco, and you can frolic in it. Yes, the Midwest got trends a little later than the coast up until the 90s, but now they find out about the cool things at the same time because of the internet. The Midwest is home to such large corporations as General Motors, Target, McDonald's, as well as your Facebook friends that keep trying to get you to buy into their not a pyramid scheme company. That is definitely a pyramid scheme company. The Midwest is known for having an abundance of meth, but actually, no, you got him on that one. Reporting from Missouri or Wisconsin or Minnesota or West Dakota or something, I'm Jeff Houghton, America's Midwest foreign correspondent.
Guest booking provided by Gig Salad.
Additional sponsorship provided by Big Whiskey's official American restaurant and bar of the Mystery Hour.
Welcome back. Welcome back. We are just rolling right along. We have a great guest tonight. We also have a great guest sponsor. Huh? Oh, it's the History Museum of the Square, on the Square. It's the History Museum from before it was a square. So, we do have a great guest tonight. She works with the Vecino Group and does very interesting work with them. Please put your hands together for Stacy Jurado-Miler. Stacy! How are you?
Hello, I'm well, thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Your hair is luxurious.
It's embarrassing how many people I had to stalk backstage to get it done, yeah.
To get it's a wig?
Because there was no hairdresser here,
There's no hairdresser.
and I don't know how to do hair, so I was just accosting strangers, like, hey, are you good at hair? Anyway, somebody was, and for that I'm grateful.
Wait, don't you do your hair every day?
Not well, but yeah.
Well, it looks good.
Thank you.
So first, tell everyone what the Vecino Group is and where you operate.
Sure. The Vecino Group is a development company based here in Springfield, Mo, but we are now active in 10 states, and we say that we're in the business of changing the world, one development, one community at a time.
Yeah, so it's...
Which is a broad claim.
Yeah, that's lofty.
Bold. Yeah.
Now, but a lot of developers are very fine and they develop things and that's about it. But what struck me about what you do is that you take it to another level in terms of like heart and impact.
Right.
So what does that mean for you?
Sure. So for us, we began as a housing development company, and of course, creating housing is in and of itself inherently good.
Mm-hmm.
There's value in that, and that's fine. But from the very beginning, we said that we were going to be devoted to housing for the greater good, which for us means that every development we undertake has to address a broader social issue, set an example, give back to the community, and inspire everybody working on it with a sense of higher purpose. So if a deal can't do that, we don't do the deal.
So what does that mean? Like, what are some of the developments you do across the country? What are some examples of that?
So on one end of the spectrum is permanent supportive housing. That's what I personally specialize in, and that is affordable housing combined with supportive services for populations that would be homeless without that type of housing. Mm-hmm. So like we have a development in St. Louis for formerly homeless veterans. We're doing one here in Springfield with Harmony House for survivors of domestic violence. Across the country really now, and I'm proud to say that we've probably hit every special need population at this point, chronically homeless, youth aging out of foster care, just anybody with a barrier to housing.
And I think what's interesting is, it's not something that I've generally thought of like in the scope of like developers. But it's not just that you're doing those sorts of projects. Like for people from this area, you've done Sky 11 next door, you've done the U across the street, the Cresco behind us.
The Frisco. Also here.
You've done
the
just
Sterling.
like the Sterling. You've done these like really nice, cool ones.
Yeah.
And then also you do this as a part of it.
Yeah, and what I think is worth noting is that you can't tell the difference. If you look at our developments, the market rate developments don't look any different than the affordable housing. And that's really important to us. You know, good design doesn't know income levels, and people at all points of the spectrum appreciate good design and quality.
And I imagine it adds to the value of what you're doing for folks that feel like they're in a nice quality place.
Absolutely. I mean, your home, think of the personal connection you have with the setting that you grew up in, where you live now. Like, your home is your memories and your foundation and everything. And so we definitely go into our developments with that mentality.
Do you guys ever encounter banks that are loaning you money that say, what? You want to do what? Why?
Well, I would say that bankers are like, there's a spectrum of how interested they are in our mission.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them really buy into it, and some of them are like, that's great, where's your pro forma? How is this going to cash flow?
Right.
But
yeah, I've found that people at banks care way more about money than I do.
And I, in particular, the Vecino Group is now 50 people. So we started with 3 people, we're now 50. And I'm probably the person at the Vecino Group least likely to talk to the bankers.
Yeah.
Because the money's not the part of the deal that's my strength or really my focus.
Right. But you're still able to focus on that and maintain an income for yourself, which is something right outside of my grasp.
Well, I mean, the income fluctuates. Some years are good, some years are not.
Yeah. But it's like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I do the opposite, where I'm like, how am I fulfilled as a person? And then I'm like, oh yeah, food.
Yeah, food's good.
Do you guys talk about Maslow's hierarchy of needs a lot? I feel like it's one of those things where you reference it to sound smarter. Like when someone says plethora.
Yeah, instantly
That's
smart.
the only multisyllabic word they know.
Yeah.
But they're saying it to say, I know this. They probably don't know what it means.
Right.
I judge people. So what's your guys' plan going forward? What are some of the markets that you're in or cities that you're in, and what's your plan?
So like I said, we're in 10 states. We probably have applications out in 10 more. Mm-hmm. I think the plan is to continue expanding our mission on a national level and to hold ourselves accountable to the same sort of drive that started it all.
Do you meet other people that are doing your job? I know there are other, there are other developers, but like doing what you're doing for a group that has various goals. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I would say that there are many companies doing our type of development who are nonprofit organizations. Mm-hmm. I think that it's less common to find for-profit developers who are who hold themselves to the same standard.
Yeah.
Because again, like we said at the beginning, creating housing, and especially affordable housing, is inherently valuable, right? You could stop there and be doing a service for the world. Yeah. But that focus on the greater good, I think, is what delineates us. And I also think there's an authenticity you can't fake.
Yeah.
You know, when you are driven by that, it's noticeable, and you can't, you can't fake that.
Thank you for calling us out. Anyway, I was just fascinated by what you do and wanted to be sure to have you on to kind of show people what you do, and there is this side where you can marry development and heart together.
You can, and if everybody would do that, the world would be there'd be huge impacts.
Yes. Well, thank you for making the world a better place.
Thank you.
We will be right back with Justin Larkin.
Guest travel and accommodations provided by Hotel Vandervoort.
Systematic Savings Bank, official bank of the Mystery Hour.
Big Fish Screen Printing, official t-shirt provider of the Mystery Hour.
Tonight's musical guest is brought to you by Bear Village.
Welcome back, everybody. Hey, we have a great musical guest here tonight. You guys are going to love this. Please give it up for Justin Larkin.
Don't want no gravestone when I go. You could plant a tree. Gravestone when I go, carving my name for me. You could tell everybody they found shelter in the shade. As the sun hangs from my branches, my eternal bed is made. When the earth is my bed sheets and my body is a shell, let my rings count the stories that only time can tell. should cut me down. I'll keep you warm by the fire as my embers kiss the ground. I don't want no gravestone when I go. You could plant a tree. Don't want no gravestone when I go. Carving my name for me. Shelby Hager on the bass guitar, Zach Otero on the drums, Clinton Hausman on lead guitar. Thank you all very much.
Good job, good job. Justin Larkin.